All right, so today's sketch, Han Solo and Princess Leia from The Empire Strikes Back. Bum, bum, bum. This one is, this was a commission for Bob King, and he's commissioned a couple of things over the last couple of months. He's also really good about giving sketches as gifts, which I think is super thoughtful and nice. And so this one is a gift. This one is going out to Phil and Jen. So I don't know that they're watching, but maybe they'll watch this video after the fact. And this one's for you guys, Phil and Jen. And I think this is going to have a lot of black on it. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I can remember, because I don't always remember, to not ink this little outline on Han Solo's face, and the same one on Princess Leia, because they're going to have a lot of black in their hair and his jacket and everything. And so I think just having a little bit of not having a heavy black line on a couple places will really help with the contrast. Off-World Geek says, preach! Yeah, I know. I get a little excited. Plus, I was gone for a week, so now I'm like totally on my I'm refreshed and on my soapbox. You guys will have to put up with that for the rest of the day. But tell me what you guys have been up to. Did you watch any of the San Diego Comic-Con panels? Did you do anything exciting? Watch anything exciting? Find a new show? I don't know if there are any new shows. I fired up like every streaming service that we belong to the other night, and I was just like, oh, I think they finally run out of programming. I mean, other than new episodes of stuff that we're already watching, I'm like, it doesn't really, it's feeling kind of thin out there. You know what I'm saying? It's feeling a little thin. Although I did hear that, it was a rumor, just a rumor, that HBO Max might be picking up Sabrina since Netflix is not going to for another season. I mean, I think they already have their half season filmed, and that will probably air on Netflix. But after that, I don't think they have a home. And the show's been wildly successful, so we'll see. But, you know, HBO is now part of AT&T and Time Warner and all that, so I don't know that a Harvey Comics property makes sense in the AT&T universe. So I would be really excited if Sabrina is picked up and moved over there, but if not, I would understand it too. Hey, Chow Time, good to see you. I hope we see you again tonight for Tiki Tuesday as well, man. Quinch Press says Umbrella Academy Season 2 was really good. I also started and finished The Alienist on HBO Max. You know, I've heard good things about The Alienist, so I may have to start that. I don't know if that's for Christy, but I may have to start that one by myself. Chow Time says, Randy and I have been watching Mindhunters. I love that show. I love that show. It's so good. And what's her name? Anna Torv. She's one of my favorites anyway. I've loved her ever since Fringe. She's Australian. I've watched a bunch of her Australian like TV miniseries and stuff too, and she's just kind of good in everything. She's like I don't know, like I even wonder if she has a personality in real life because she's such a good actress. She's such a chameleon, you know. And sometimes those really good actors are like kind of odd in real life. And that kind of makes me wonder. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about her. I love her, but you always have to wonder. But yeah, that's such a great show. Off-World Geek says, I treated Virtual Con almost like an actual con, dedicated the weekend and wore my geeky shirts. That's awesome. That's so smart. That's like such a good way to embrace it and a great way to do it. Really, really smart. Chowtime says, hell yeah, what drinks are you deciding between? Oh, you know, I was going to post it up after this, but I think it's a couple with Kahlua, a couple of the darker drinks tonight. We'll see. But yeah, I think I've got it narrowed down to 2 of those, and so I'll post it up whenever we're done here, what I'm deciding between. But I think that's what I'm looking at. Christy had tried a couple of those out of the book and really liked them, so I thought, oh, that'd be a fun and different thing to do tonight. Although I need to stock up on rum like Quinch Press is doing, because especially during our trip, we made a bunch of Blue Hawaiians and drank a bunch of rum, so... Quinch Press says, I'm finally getting caught up on all the Arrowverse shows and the big Crisis on Infinite Earths crossovers. You know, I need to do that. I haven't watched those shows in a while, and I do need to do that. Now you're making me feel bad. I used to watch those faithfully, and I don't know what happened. Like, I just kind of fell out of it. You know, that happens sometimes, like you get choice overload, or you just get overloaded on a, you know, because like there was Arrow, and there was Flash, and then there was the Legends, and then there was like Batwoman and something else, and there was like 10 more shows, and I was just like, I can't keep up. But I should go back and catch up, because I really did like them. And I've met all the cast of the Flash and Arrow, and they were super nice, and so, you know, now I feel like indebted to them and stuff. I'm like, you don't know me, but now I feel like I owe you. I don't know why. Call it kismet, call it fate, call it karma. Off-Road Geek says, I thought the New Mutants panel was really good. They tried to involve the fans. Oh, cool. How did they do that? Let us know how, like, on Christy and I's panel, it was pre-recorded, and I think most of them were. At least that was my understanding. So let me know what they did to involve the fans, because I think that's cool. Traveler Bob. Hey, good to see you, Traveler Bob. Traveler Bob says, hey, Brian. Hey, everyone. Finally got out of my work meeting and can get the important stuff like watching the art being made. Yeah, well, I told everybody that that you would commission this one and that it's a gift for Phil and Jen. So that's quite nice of you, for sure. And I'm glad you got out of your meeting. Wow, Squishbuck is here. Great to see you, Squishbuck. Squishbuck says, yeah, finally getting to watch again. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. A long while. Well, I was gone all last week, and then you've been gone for a while. So, hey, Squishbuck, are you back to work? And if so, let us know how that's going. Inquiring minds want to know. We have to live vicariously through you. I mean, I guess Chow Time and Randy don't have to live vicariously through you, but the rest of us do. Because Chow Time Squishbuck is there in Orlando with you. Chow Time says, fun story. Randy and I met Stephen and Mel at Morimoto's last year. Oh, wow, that is good. Was he like there? Would he like try to sell you a bottle of his wine? I'm teasing. He's like, please buy my wine. Off-Road Geek says, hashtags, contest, fan questions, and special emojis for fans. Oh, that's really cool. You know, it all came together so fast. I think Christy and I just tried to do our best to do a video version of our panel, but in hindsight, yeah, it would have been really cool to come up with more ways to have fans involved. We had actually thought about streaming it here live and taking like real-time questions and stuff, but it seemed like, you know, and then recording it for them. It seemed like that's not really how they wanted to handle things. But I'm glad that some others found some creative ways to do it. That's really good to know. I keep getting really odd text, you guys. It's really strange. I think someone's spamming me, but you can probably hear the ding when it comes through on my computer, but I'm just ignoring it. But it's very strange. Very strange. Well, we'll talk about it more tonight on Tiki Tuesday, but I've been in contact now with most of the major like tiki mug manufacturers and Mai Tai glass makers and swizzle makers and stuff like that. So if you've been following our Tiki Tuesdays, definitely hang out tonight, because I think we're going to really be talking seriously about tiki mugs and Mai Tai glasses, and maybe making our own custom design and what that means, and Kickstarter and all that stuff. So if you're around at 7 o'clock Pacific tonight, be sure to grab a cocktail of your choice head on over here for Tiki Tuesday because it's been a lot of fun. I was just got a thing from Streamlabs saying that it's been like the most watched streams so far. So definitely come and hang out, be part of the drink and draw party. You know, it'll be a good time. And if you've got a favorite Tiki mug, we can talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm getting some crazy spam, you guys. Like crazy text spam with emojis and all kinds of nut stuff. I didn't want to look at it. I'm a little freaked out. Cyberstalker maybe, or just spam. Who knows? Traveler Bob says, "How was your trip to Colorado? That's where I live, though not in Aspen." You know, it was really good. I was talking about it a little bit before, but I didn't really get past Durango too much. And the biggest thing for me, it was just nice to get out of the heat. It's been like between 115 and 120 here almost every day. So it was really, really nice to get away. But just the beauty, I mean, you know, we hiked flowing rivers and waterfalls, and we hiked up to lakes. You know, one of them was at like over 10,000 feet, and had a little picnic on a rock, and a chipmunk came and hung out with Christy, and it was just a really good escape, and you know, exactly what I needed. And I was saying before how impressed I was with how Colorado was handling COVID compared to Arizona. So that part's been really, really good. I mean, if you live there, then you know. You guys are doing such a better job than we are. Your numbers are so much better. Plus the sense of community, you know, all the little downtowns with their outdoor seating areas. You guys just seem to have it figured out. Whereas here, everyone's got their heels dug in and they're like, you know, we're going to do everything exactly as it's always been done, and we're not going to make any changes, or we're not going to, you know, no contingency plans, no mask, you know, it's just such the wrong approach. And I know some of the cities here are trying to change that, but just overall, our overall state government has just not handled it well at all. And it was very, very refreshing to see just how well Colorado was doing with trying to do the right thing for people's health and give businesses all the flexibility they needed to remain open and successful. So it was really good. But really just the beauty of the state. I mean, you know, we drove through Aspen. We drove through, I don't know if you guys saw, I had a new Aspen poster that I released today. I got really inspired. I've got a couple more I want to work on from like, we went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park, which obviously Christy and I travel all over the Middle East, so we were really excited about that. And so we actually got to rent the little wooden like boogie boards and ride down the dunes on those, which was really fun. I was okay at it. Christy's really good at it. I mean, she definitely could surf the dunes with the best of them. But we just looked for the steepest dunes where we could go the fastest, really, because that's kind of all I'm interested in, is just, you know, getting the speed off of it. So it was a really good trip. It was a really good trip. I'm getting all kinds of crazy texts. I'm gonna look at them after this, but they're very bizarre. So yes, Traveler Bob, it was a great trip, and I could go on and on. I don't want to bore you guys, but I did have a really good time. The Timberline Lake that we hiked up to was probably one of the highlights. But like I said, all the little towns and all the villages. I don't know if you guys saw my post. I found, are they up here? Let me see. In a little junk shop in Leadville, I found these original Condor Man Disney comic books. How cool are those, right? It's the two-parter from the movie. So I haven't even opened them yet, but you know, if you know, then you know. Like, this is part of my childhood, and I think it came out before my time, but I saw it on like Disney Channel as a kid. So it was really good find. So just stuff like that, just be able to get out and get away and, you know, experience life for a few days was good. Squishbuck says, the reason why I haven't got to watch is because of work. It's been a lot of fun, but not super busy. I finally got to ride Rise of the Resistance. Ooh, that sounds... Oh, I want to do that so bad. So, Squishbuck, if you feel like saying, and you don't have to, do you feel safe in the parks? Do you feel safe in Disney Springs? Do you think that they're doing a good job with how they're handling everything? I'm actually not. I usually see a lot of like the Disney food blog and some of the other channels on YouTube's videos, and I'm not really seeing too much about how things are being handled right now. Christy's parents have reservations there in the fall. I think September, October, and I know they're really worried. They're getting emails from Disney like every week, and they're like, should we cancel? Should we go? What should we do? Obviously, Florida as a whole sort of has a bad reputation right now, but let us know how things are going where you are. I know Randy or Chow Time could chime in on that too. Traveler Bob says, nice, it sounds like a good getaway, glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was the perfect reset. So I'm back. I'm like so inspired and so jazzed right now. You guys have no idea, on art, on tiki stuff. I think I've kind of come to grips with like the comic book industry may not bounce back for a while, and that sucks, but it's up to me and you guys and all of us together to like get through this. And so I'm super committed right now to just pushing everything forward and trying to make a go of it. And obviously a big part of that is this channel. If we can do our Kickstarter and maybe a Patreon, that kind of stuff. So, just another day. Quinch Press says, I only watched a panel and a half. The one panel I watched was Batgirl panel, shocker, and it featured Cecil Castellucci. She's one of my favorites. I've worked with her on a couple of projects over the years, and she's just so, like, you meet a lot of writers, and there's writers who are good, and there's writers who are competent, and that kind of thing. But Cecil, like, she's like the real deal. Like, she just lives and breathes storytelling. It's just part of who she is, and she's such a good speaker. She's so fun to be on a panel with. I'm sure it was a very, very entertaining panel. It would have had to have been. Traveler Bob says, the sand dunes are cool. Yeah, it was. Like, it was crazy for us because when we go to the Middle East, like, the Rubel Holly is like the Rocky Mountains, but it's all sand. You don't see anything else. You just see sand and the sunset, right? But when you go to the Great Sand Dunes Park, there's like normal Colorado mountains with the sand dunes kind of at the base of the mountains. So the whole time you're on the sand dunes, you're looking at like Rocky Mountain style mountains. And it's very, for someone who's only been to the deserts in the Middle East and in Arizona, it's very bizarre. But we had a great time. It was an absolute blast. I could have spent a lot more time there. Quinch Press says, I saw Condor Man in the theater on opening weekends. That's awesome. How lucky for you. I posted those comics up on my personal Facebook, and it's the most interaction and feedback I think I've ever seen. And so many people had their own stories about Condor Man. Some love it, some hate it. Some realize that when you saw it at age 5, you might like it more than if you saw it now. I mean, that's a lot of movies, right? But people were showing, like, there was Baskin Robbins Condor Crunch ice cream back in the day and stuff like that. I mean, stuff I had no idea about. So it's been kind of fun to just see people's reaction to it. I always liked the movie. I understand why it's not on Disney Plus. I understand that the main hero dresses up as an Arab, and while that was very funny in the late 70s, it was in the Cannonball Run and a lot of other shows at the time. It's not politically correct anymore. I get that. You couldn't make that same decision today. So I understand the reality of the situation, and because that's the big finale, I don't see how they could cut that out or edit around it or anything. So it may never be on Disney Plus. We'll see. We'll see what they do. Quinch Press says Cecil is really cool. She used to be in a punk band when she was younger. I've actually run into her at concerts in LA. Well, that's cool. I've only known her through comics and Star Wars, and so we've never talked about punk music, but now I wish we would have. Squishbuck says, I feel pretty safe. We have constant safety people coming to our location and others to ensure that everyone is doing everything correctly. We have to wear face shields when I'm training, which has been the last few weeks. I know a lot of CMs are wearing, a lot of cast members are wearing face shields for added protection. Plenty of hand washing and sanitation stations. People are following the social distancing at the parks, but springs can get a little crowded in certain areas. But overall, I feel very, very safe. That's good. That's good to hear. That's what I like to hear. I kind of figure, like, if any company can do this right, it should be Disney. You know, I mean, I get it. They got to make a buck too. They got to, you know, their financial success is on the line, just like all the other companies. But we don't expect them to be the ones to, like, take shortcuts on these things, and, you know, we expect them to make, like, long-term decisions. So hopefully they're doing it right. Squishbuck says the rides are cleaned every 2 hours. Oh, well, that's good to know. That's really good to know. I saw, like, the airlines, I guess, are doing less and less cleaning. I'm not flying anytime soon, but they said, like, I think it's only maybe Southwest and one other are actually cleaning between every flight now, and or sanitizing. And even they are like, no, we're not doing seatbelts anymore. I'm like, what? Like, everybody has to touch the seatbelt. Come on. That's so crazy. What a world. Quinchpress says, I had just turned 11 when I saw Condor Man. I watched it again about a year ago and still enjoyed it. Yeah, I try to watch it like once a year. I've got it on DVD. And I think I ripped that DVD into my computer years ago. So, yeah, I try to watch it once a year. I like it. I know that it doesn't hold up for a lot of people. And someone sent me a link to a podcast where they tear it apart. And I said, yeah, it'd be fun to listen to them tear it apart just to hear what they have to say. But, you know, I think if you originally saw it at the right age, it's endearing. You know, and at the end of the day, it's a movie about a comic book artist who becomes the superhero. That's pretty cool, you know. And I think a lot of people want entertainment like that, where you see the, you know, the geek or the normal person or the artist or whoever, like, become the hero. So that part was always really cool. And I also have to say, it really got me into cars as a kid. Like, I don't know that I paid much attention to, like, cars until I saw Condor Man. And, you know, he's got the condor wings that he flaps around with. He's got the condor car. He's got the condor jet boat. And then the Proknovic, the bad guys, are all driving around these, like, black Porsche 911 turbos. They're, like, mirrorized windows. And it was awesome. So, you know, some people hate it. I liked it. Squishbuck says, oh, there was issue with the ride recently. Splash Mountain vehicle sunk. Yeah, I saw something online about that, but I didn't click the link to get all the details. But yeah, I did see that there was a problem with Splash Mountain. Oops. But they're going to redo Splash Mountain anyway. So, you know, no harm, no foul. Squishbuck says, woohoo, howdy neighbor. The only plane I'll ever get on... Oh, Chow Time says that too, Squishbuck. Sorry, guys. Trying to read too fast here. I've been away for a week. I don't know what to do. Squishbuck says the only plane I'll get on will be one my dad flies. Be when one my dad flies. Yeah, that'd be cool. Does your dad a pilot? Or does he, like, fly small planes or something? You'll have to let me know. My father was an airline mechanic, so I grew up around planes and stuff. So I'm always interested in that. When, yeah. The only plane I'll ever get on will be one when my dad flies. Got it. Okay. Craziness. I can't read. That's my biggest shame. I never learned to read. Wah, wah, wah. Hey, you're that nerd. Yeah, Condor Man's cool. I think it's like anything. Like, there's plenty of stuff that, like, kids would watch right now today that we wouldn't appreciate because they're 5 and we're not. So, same thing. Oh, Traveler Bob redeemed a hydrate. Thank you so much, Traveler Bob. I appreciate it. Thank you. I need that. I haven't checked the temperature, but I'm sure it's over 110, so I do appreciate it. We haven't seen Evan today. Maybe we just have to say his name 3 times. Like, Evan, Evan, Evan. And then he'll like appear magically. Sometimes that works. Not always, but sometimes. He's like Beetlejuice. Well, you guys have to let me know if you're going to come to Tiki Tuesday tonight, and if so, what kind of fun cocktail you're going to have. Squishbuck says, yeah, my dad is a pilot. He flies small aircraft for a grocery store. He flies the CEO. He used to be a medical pilot, but the hours were crazy. That's so cool. My neighbor is a pilot, and he was in the military, and now he's semi-retired, but he still flies a private jet for a company, and he'll fly like their CEO or their executives or whatever around. So yeah, I got to go down recently to our Sky Harbor airport and see some of the jets and helicopters and stuff he flies, and it's so cool. I mean, I grew up around big aircraft, so it's really neat to get to see some of the like smaller jets and stuff. It was really cool. So yeah, good. Congratulations for your dad. That's awesome. Quench Press says, I'm on the other side of town, but my phone says it's only 104. Well, only 104. It's still plenty warm. Chowtime says, called episode 1 and Space Jam. Those movies did not translate well. You know, I'm going to admit, I never saw Space Jam. I know it's beloved by many, but I've never seen it. I don't know why. Maybe just because it was sports. Like, I love Looney Tunes, but I think because it was sports related, it just didn't resonate with me at all. And I was just like, whatever. I was never a sports ball kid. So it's kind of funny that I'm married to someone who plays tennis all the time now. Squishbuck says, my dad says he will never retire. Yeah, I think all people who fly feel that way. Makes me want to go back and watch The Rocketeer again. Star Wars Father says, love seeing all your art in the upper left-hand corner. I still wish I had the War of the Worlds print. I don't think that War of the Worlds one was ever made available. But if we ever have Comic-Cons... Oh, you know, I think I had some small, like, postcard size ones of it. Hey, Star Wars Father, hit me up on, like, Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you a postcard, one of those. Just like message me like your mailing address, and that was the one we talked about, and I'll throw one in the mail for you. I mean, it's small, but at least you have it. Yeah, that the War of the Worlds one and the 20,000 Leagues. Those were for a gallery show years ago now. And the 20,000 Leagues, I remember I specifically made sure to make the Nautilus not be an exact copy of Disney's so that I could do whatever I wanted with it later. And so that one I was able to make some really nice silkscreen prints of. The War of the Worlds, I was originally going to do my own interpretation of the tripods, but then the gallery asked if I would please stick to the ones from the movie, because people would recognize it more. And so I did, but then I felt like I'm sure that no one would have said anything if I'd made prints of it. I just didn't feel like it was the right thing to do, so I never did. Chowtime says, a zombie is looking pretty good tonight. The Mahikona or the Suffering Bastard. Yeah, I keep thinking about the Suffering Bastard. I hear you there, Chowtime. I don't have the book in front of me. It's in the other room, but I had a couple of options I was looking at for tonight as well. Looking forward to it, though. Really. I think that well, I'll tell tonight. I'll tell all the Tiki stories tonight. I don't want to give everything away now. But yes, Tiki Tuesday tonight. We will do it. Zombie always sounds good. Quinch Press says, I know I brought it up once before, but has anyone watched the new War of the Worlds on Epix? I haven't yet, and I can't remember if we still get Epix or not, and maybe that's part of the problem, but I know you said it was really well done, so I'll have to check to see if we actually get Epix. I kind of feel like we get part of Epix, but not all of Epix. Like, does that make sense? Because there's multiple Epix channels. And so I think we get like whatever the main one is or something. I think that's only because of one of Christie's sports packages. But I'm not sure. Not sure. But I'll have to check, because I would like to see that for sure. Especially now, there's just been so few like good new things coming out, it's kind of like really few and far between. You're just like, okay, I'll watch that. Yeah, I'm still watching The Great on Hulu. I like that quite a bit. And Perry Mason, I think, has been outstanding. Like, that's probably my favorite show right now. It's Perry Mason. And I think we watched the first episode or two of, it's either Cursed or The Cursed on Netflix. And that was pretty good. It's like one I'll watch if there's nothing else on. Which I know sounds like I'm damning it with faint praise, but it was pretty good. Squishbuck says Old Guard was really good. Yeah, man, I loved Old Guard. That was so much fun. I love that. Yeah. She was such a badass in that. And like the other characters were good too, and that's what made it fun. It wasn't just like a one note. And I like that they left it open so they can do more. But yeah, Old Guard was fun. It was like a surprise. Like, it was something different, and that's what I liked about it, It wasn't just the same old thing. Old Guard was definitely good. Quinch Press says, War of the Worlds, the new one is very different, not much like the original. I don't know about different parts of Epix, but I signed up for whatever you can get through Amazon Prime. I did the 7-day trial, but I forgot to cancel. So now I'm excited for season 2 of War of the Worlds and Pennyworth. Oh, okay. Like I said, I think on our cable we get like, I swear there's like, I forget what it is. What is it? It's Epix and something else, and there's like 10 different channels of them or something. Traveler Bob says, I started to watch the new Transformers on Netflix, only a couple episodes in, but I'm really enjoying it. That's on my list, Traveler Bob. That is totally on my list. I am excited to check that one out. For sure. Looking forward to that. I'm hoping, I would really like to see more animation coming out, especially now when, those are people who can work remotely and create a bunch of content. So, why not? Let's get more animated programming, not less. More, I say. More. Me and Billy Idol, we cried for more. But yeah, that one's definitely on my list of things to check out. Alright, I have to get a smaller pen for these lips, because they're teeny tiny. Teeny tiny lips. There we go, that's better. Well, we definitely all look forward to this crisis being solved so we can all enjoy things like Disney and going out and everything again. It's been such a weird time. And for those of you who live in Orlando, kudos to you guys for making it work right now. because I'm sure it's not easy. Alright, just about to the part where we can start laying down some markers on this. Get some shading going. Finally, right? You guys are like, finally, Brian. Come on. Come on, Brian. Just trying to make Han's blaster look somewhat cool here. Guns never look cool when they're like pointed. I was trying to figure out why this felt so wrong, and now I realize what it is. Is it for the official licensed Star Wars art that I do? You can't have guns pointing at the viewer. So like I can never do this pose for like a real poster. It could be like pointing like off to the side, like Charlie's Angel style or something like that. But I'm assuming this is too much towards the viewer to be allowed for like a art print or anything like that. But earlier when I was sketching out blue line, I'm like, why does this feel so strange? I'm like, oh, now I know why. It's because of the gun. That's why it feels strange. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, Phil and Jen, I don't know if you'll ever get to watch this video, but I hope you like this sketch when it's done, because it's definitely been a fun one. I love drawing Han and Leia in different scenarios, so this is right up my alley for sure. There we go. Starting to get some details working in there. Hey guys, and don't forget, I know some of you haven't been here a while, so at the bottom of the chat, if you see that little purple circle there, you're earning points for every minute that you're watching here. So you know, you can redeem those points for emotes in the chat and hydrates like Quinch Press just did, and all kinds of good rewards and stuff. So don't, you know, you're earning the points, so you might as well use them. So thanks for the hydrate. Cheers. Oh, and thank you for the posture check. Oh, I don't know if you heard my chest pop or not. That's so gross. I'm so hunched over when I do the art. It gets all tight in there. All right. And if you haven't been here in a while, if you look to the, let me point my pencil the right direction. About right here on your screen, there's a little pull-out tab, and we've got stickers that you can play with. As well as sound alerts. So lots of fun things we can do on the channel now. We just keep growing it bigger and better. Well, better. I don't know about bigger, but better. All right, let's see. I think we'll get some of these gray lines laid down, and then we'll be ready for some markers. Try to get Princess Leia's like puffy jacket looking good. Such a fashion icon now. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to ink in her little badge here. Ever notice how the rank badges like flip-flop from side to side on some of these costumes, like just depending on what they're wearing. I guess the Rebel Alliance, they weren't too uptight about how you wore your badges. Les Duda says, I'm late, but Old Guard was so good, wasn't it? Yeah, I really dug it. I like the concept, first of all, of like the Eternals, or the, you know, I like that it was almost, I was almost worried it was going to be like a vampire story at first, and then, but the way they handled it was way good, I thought. So it's always nice when you get like a concept that's solid and then they do like good things with it. And yeah, they were great. The Immortals were great, and Charlize did such a good job. Let's do this. Is like, I don't know when my crush will go away. No, she killed it. Like, I don't know. She seems like one of those actors who are really good about choosing like a good mix of like action and artistic kind of roles. And this one almost kind of felt like a little bit of both, you know? I mean, that's kind of what made it cool, I thought, was that, you know, it was an action flick, but it like had, like, it was trying to say something about humanity and everything. So I dug that. I dug it a lot. I thought it was cool. Let's go 30. No, I thought Charlize did a really good job in that. I was impressed with her. And was Idris Elba was in that? I'm not sure about some of the other actors in it, but I liked them all. I liked the characters. I liked some of the twist. I did a good job with that. So it was just well done from start to finish, I thought. And you know, if they do a sequel, and it seems like they will, I look forward to it, because I think it could only be good, hopefully. Trying to do some like little folds and wrinkles in Han's shirt here. Try to make it look cool. I mean, it's Han Solo, so it's going to look cool no matter what, but you know what I mean. Make it look like really cool. Oh, not Idris. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Yeah. See, this is what happens, guys, when I start drawing. It all goes out the door. Thanks for calling me out. I appreciate it. I need that sometimes. That's why I shouldn't even say actors' names. Get all those people confused. Like, instead of Charlize Theron, I'd be like, call her by the wrong name or something. I'm like, you know, Kate Olsen. She was great in that movie. And you guys are like, no, Brian. No. That's not right. That's not who that was. I'm like, yeah, the Olsen twins. They were awesome. You guys are like, no, Brian. All right, that's the 30. Let's do 50. Let's do this. Is like, he was Mordo in Doctor Strange, but I know him from 2012. And Charlie Bob says, I loved him in Serenity. Yeah, he was good in that. I remember that. I forgot about 2012. That's one of Christy's favorites. Hey guys, in case I missed it, I mentioned it. For the month of August, Christy and I are going to do some Thursday night shows. So starting this Thursday at 7 p.m., Christy's going to come on with me. And we're going to have kind of a new twist on the artwork and stuff. So be sure to check that out this week. So we're going to do that every Thursday night in August and see how that goes. Something fun and new and exciting to look forward to. If there wasn't enough excitement already. I think doing our panel for San Diego kind of got her relaxed for that kind of stuff. So should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And now I've got my markers in the wrong order. Off-Roll Geek says, cool. Yeah, it should be good. We're kind of working on the format right now. Hoping the new microphone I ordered for her shows up in time. You know how things are right now with Amazon. It's like, it will be there Tuesday, and then now it's like, it might be there Thursday. I'm like, well, we're doing the show Thursday, so it better show up. Let's get a little shadow from the gun here onto Han's fingers. That'll look cool. Something like this. You guys know me. I make so much of this stuff up as I go. I'm just like, how's this gonna work? Is it gonna work? Hopefully it works. Usually in the end it turns out. But hey, this is the first sketch back. It's going to be great. It has to be. It's got to be. Spectacularlessness. It has no choice than to be awesome. Han Solo's got his blaster out. Ready to take down the bad guys. Alright, now let's see what we can do. A little bit of shading under his hair. Well, guys, I was telling you a little bit about my trip. Let me know what you've been up to. Even if it's staying at home, or working remotely, or working in person. Let's catch up. Let me know everything you've been up to. Let me know how the mail is going at your place. Our mail's been so screwed up. It's not even funny. Oh my gosh, it's been so annoying. You know, as a independent artist, I kind of need the mail to work so I can ship things out to people, and it's been a real struggle the last couple weeks. Packages that disappear and reappear and all that kind of crazy stuff, you know. Traveler Bob says we've been playing lots of tabletop games. Oh, hey, we tried a new one, Charty Party. Have you heard of that one? It's pretty much a ripoff of Cards Against Humanity, and maybe not as good, but or maybe we played it wrong. Sure. Let me know if you've heard of that one, and let me know what you've been playing. Chat Time says Rainey and I have been busy with our Etsy store. Oh, that's interesting because I'm I already have a web store, but I'm getting ready to launch at Etsy to lead up to our Tiki stuff. So let me know, is yours open? Are you setting it up? Or has it been in existence? I don't remember, guys. You'll have to remind me all about your Etsy store. Hey, and feel free to share a link if it's open so that others can go and find it too. Sharing is caring. But yeah, please tell us about your Etsy store and what kind of good things people will find there. I've had my own web store for years, and I never even thought about doing anything on Etsy, but now that I'm getting into this Tiki stuff, a lot of people are advising me that it's more likely to be found by having it on Etsy than somewhere else. So I'm working on that right now. So it's been a learning curve a little bit. I mean, it's not that different from having your own web store, but everything's just a little different than I'm used to. So I'm gonna do just my Tiki art and my travel art there, and then maybe some of the like some of the sketches I've been doing that aren't commissions, some of the original stuff I might sell there. I mean, I probably should just brand it to one thing, but I do so many different things that I'm just going to brand it to Octopolis and just try to stay focused on just all the kind of art that I do. But if we do the Kickstarter, then maybe we'll just have it just be Tiki for a while or something. Kind of whatever works out best, But oh, you guys are specializing in geek 3D printed COVID mask. Oh, that's really cool. I've been selling the neck gator ones, and that's been fun. I mean, I just design them, and that's been really fun. And it's nice to get compliments from people who are like, I felt really weird about wearing a mask, and now I don't. So let me know about your 3D ones, and definitely feel free to share a link for sure. Slowly moving into nerdy pocket squares and coasters. That's great. That's fantastic. Way to go, you guys. I'm so excited for you. Star Wars Father says, is the Tiki stuff connected to the geeky Tiki Cups people? No. I think what we're trying to do, Star Wars Father, is just do like our own Octopolis Tiki stuff. Since we started our Tiki Tuesday show, there's been a lot of, I think, interest in that. Now, long term, if one of the established Tiki companies wanted to collaborate or work with me, obviously I'd be thrilled to do that. But short term, no. Just trying to do my own stuff, because right now, at least, most of the big licensing companies and stuff that I work with, like on Star Wars and stuff, are doing little to no product. So I'm just looking for other ways to survive, with my artwork. But Chow Time, definitely whenever you're ready, feel free to share a link on here. It's, we support you. And I like the pocket square idea a lot. I'm really into that stuff. Quinch Press says, yeah, sometimes I just go to Etsy and search for Tiki. I found a few mugs and Mai Tai glasses there. I do like that I don't need to know someone's website to find them. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think, my background has been all the licensed art, and so there wasn't really a reason for me to be on Etsy with that. But if anything, it would have been a detriment, right? But with, I think, the Tiki stuff, and I think some of my travel art too, I think it's going to be a good thing to be on Etsy, like you said, where you find one thing and it leads you to another. I think that'll work out well. I hope so, at least. I mean, that's the plan. So I'm real excited for Chow Time too. Star Wars Father says, all Tiki stuff is so fun. I can't wait to see what you'll have. Yeah, we're going to talk about it tonight on Tiki Tuesday, but we're definitely looking at doing a mug design, Mai Tai glass, swizzle, that sort of thing. Just need to figure out which one to kind of launch first. Probably the mug. It's kind of the biggest thing with, I think, the most collectible base, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, so Chowtime has just shared a link for their Etsy store for Chowtime and Randy. So feel free to check that out, guys, and see what they're doing. They're good people. They support the channel, so we support them. I know I'll be going and giving it a look myself. So I'm glad to see you guys doing that. That's really exciting. Now, was that something that you would plan to do pre-COVID, or kind of like a lot of us, you're just acting in response to COVID and trying to figure out how to either supplement or replace lost income, that kind of thing? I remember when I started this channel, Evan's like, well, is it only going to be 30 days or something? And we didn't know back then, so here we are months later and still going. So it's a whole new world, that's for sure. Oh, I see Quinch Press says you've got a Vader face mask. I'm jealous. That's definitely something I wouldn't be able to get away with. So Traveler Bob says your masks are super cool. Well, I can't wait to check them out. So good for you guys. Very excited for you. Always good to see people making good creative things, especially when there's so many people out there who are not producing good stuff. We need more good stuff. We need more creativity, more thoughtfulness, more good designs. Chowtime says, so pissed that the Shag Tiki mugs were $150 a pop. Wow. That is a lot. I've only met Shag once. I don't know Shag, so I can tell you though that if it's official Star Wars stuff, which it looked like it was, I bet very, very little of that money is actually going to Shag. So I would say don't hold it against Shag. But yeah, that does seem extravagant, especially when there was 4 of them. So if you wanted the whole set, you're looking at like $600. Yeah. Chowtime says, hey, thank you guys. We have a Mando and a Cara coming soon. Oh, like a Cara Dune? Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. That's great. So excited for you guys. That's fantastic. Very cool. This is definitely what we're about, right? Creators, supporting creators, taking care of one another, help getting the word out. Because that's the hardest part, right? Is discoverability, Star Wars Father says, nice work. Oh, Star Wars Father give a shout out. He redeemed a shout out. So shout out to Chowtime. Yeah, shout out to Chowtime and to Chowtime's Etsy store. So, like I said, whether you're watching this live or watching this sometime in the future, be sure and check it out. You can still see the chat, and the link to the Etsy store is right there. Chowtime says, we printed it for fun and then everyone was asking about it, so we decided to launch and build a fan base and move on to other things after COVID. That's really, really smart. Squishbuck says the art is looking awesome. Thank you so much, Squishbuck. Thank you. Sometimes I get to talking and I forget to draw, so I gotta stay on top of that. But thank you so much. Just trying to get her puffy jacket to look pretty cool here if I can. It's one of my favorite parts of this outfit. Traveler Bob says, yeah, the art is great. And Star Wars Father says, excuse any weird comments, I'm still figuring out Twitch. No, nothing weird at all. You're doing good. And I'm glad you redeemed a shout out. That's awesome. That's what it's there for, right? You're earning those points. You get to use them. Twitch is fun. Like, it took me a good month, and I think Les Dudas would laugh when I say that because it probably took me longer. But, to figure out some of the stuff. But once you realize, like, the tremendous community building and thought that's gone into some of this, it's really cool. Because it's not just a platform for the creator, or it's not just a platform for the consumer, you guys. it allows us to be a community together, and I think that's what makes Twitch so special. Because like YouTube, yeah, there's some live videos with chat, but for the most part, it's just a broadcast. And whereas this, it's really interactive, which is really nice. Plus, Twitch is rewarding you guys for watching and giving you points and giving you perks and stuff. Plus, subscribers to my channel get additional perks. So it's nice to have this ecosystem where we can all hang out and everyone gets rewarded. Quinchpress says the latest Undertow mug is $200, I think, and there's no licensing involved. I've heard quite a few tiki mug makers talk about how much work goes into each mug and how hard it is to keep them reasonably priced. You know what? I can really believe that. Again, we'll talk about it more tonight, but I've been in touch with most of the manufacturers now, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. And there's, I'm used to like screen printing setup fees and printing setup fees, but there's a lot of different setup work that has to be done to make something like a tiki mug. So they're not a cheap item, especially when you're making them in the hundreds and not in the thousands. So I can, that's why I think it'll be important for us to do a Kickstarter or something. Star Wars Father says, I'm just clicking buttons, lol. That's allowed too. That's how I felt for the first little while. I was like, I'm just clicking buttons. Quinchpress says, though when I went to the Shag store in Palm Springs, I couldn't find anything in the store that was affordable enough that I was willing to buy. Yeah, that's sad. I don't know. I can see both sides of it as an artist, but it's how do you put it? Like, you don't want to take advantage of your fans and collectors, right? So I've never been the cheapest artist, and I've been fortunate to work on a lot of licensed properties, and that stuff costs money and all that. But like when I do Comic-Cons and stuff, I try to have a $5 or $10 item at my table, because not everybody can afford to walk up and buy a $100 print or even a $60 print, and maybe they can once in a while, but not every table they go to, So while that $5 item may not help me pay for my booth that day, or may not really put any money in my pocket, it allows that fan to interact with me and participate with me in a way they may not have been able to do otherwise, and who knows what sort of like long-term ramifications that can have. That's like when I do the Epcot festival. Every artwork of mine that's there is $50 or more. I mean, maybe $40 or more. And there's a lot of little kids that just want to come up and go, Star Wars, cool, and they may not have money to spend, or their parents may not want them to spend money, or whatever it is. And so I try to have a sticker or a card or something fun I can just give to those kids, to take with them. And it does that benefit me at all? I mean, maybe not immediately, I don't know, and maybe never, but it's kind of not the point, right? I mean, yeah, we all want to survive, we all want to make a living, but it can't be by taking advantage of people. You have to have options. Off-World Geek says, I never thought of Twitch that way. That's nice. Oh, well, thank you. Chow Time redeemed posture check. Oh, thank you, Chow Time. I appreciate that. Oh, kind of needed that. Oh, and Chow Time cheered 5 bits. Thank you so much. I see him there in the tip jar. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Like I said earlier, I think what we're going to do this week is that at the end of the week, whoever's got the most bits and the most gifts on the leaderboard, and depending on how you're watching, the leaderboard might just be directly below the video you're watching. We'll give away a couple of the coaster sketches to those 2 people. So new month, new week. I figured why not? It's a good way to do it. Squishbug says, I have a fun storm going on outside, so I'm probably going to have to sign off for the moment. Love the art. Oh, thank you, Squishbug. Stay dry. Squishbuck says, I'm not a fan of thunder at all. Well, I know you guys are in a crazy storm there in Florida, so please be safe. And thanks for hanging out with us today. We miss seeing you. So, come back tonight for Tiki Tuesday, or Thursday we're doing 2 shows, and sometimes we do a bonus show on Friday. So hopefully we'll see more of you again. Showtime's like, yeah, it's pouring outside. Yeah, I know you guys are all there in the Orlando area, so definitely be safe. I think I'm going to go a shade darker. Time to go a shade darker. But not 2 shades darker. That would be too dark. So yeah, I talked to some of the tiki makers, and it looks like originally I know Showtime had said maybe we could 3D print a mock-up, and we probably can, but it looks like at least the main ones that I've talked to still require a clay sculpt, even if you have a 3D model. So that definitely adds to the upfront cost. I thought maybe it was modern enough where you just gave them a 3D model and they could use that to produce a master or something, but that's not how it is yet. So it sounds like we'll all have to do the design, and then depending on how it goes, we could either move that design to a 3D model or move it to a hand sculpt. And I'm the first to admit, I did some sculpture and stuff when I was in art school, but that was a long time ago. So, most of the tiki mug makers have sculptors that they would like you to use to ensure good results. And there's some sort of famous tiki sculptors out there. So, we may have to partner with one of those people to pull this off. And that's okay. That'll give us more credibility anyway. And, another person who maybe already has a bit of a following. So I'm open-minded to all of that, and I'm also the first to admit that while I'm a super expert at silkscreen and 2D stuff, I'm not a super expert at 3-dimensional stuff. So I'm willing to accept the help, and that may add to the expense, but if it provides with a superior tiki mug that we're all happy with in the end, that's okay. We can collaborate. I play well with others. It's part of the fun. Well, Bob, I think we're getting close on this one, so if you have any requests or see anything that should be touched up or done different, chime in and let me know. Quinchpress says, now that we know that, I can reach out to Odd Rodney. He's a friend and a local. I'll message you about it later. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Chowtime says, Randy's coming home soon, so I have to run out of the storm and move my car. Hey, you do what you need to do, and come back if you can, but if not, we'll see you tonight for Tiki Tuesday. Traveler Bob says, it's looking amazing. Oh, well, thank you, Traveler Bob. Appreciate it. Trying to make it look good for Phil and Jen. Hopefully they enjoy it. I'm certainly enjoying drawing it. I tend to believe that joy in your artwork, that people can sense that, and it kind of comes through. So I think that's true. I've always been a big believer. That if you're, happy with what you're doing, people can sense that and feel it when they look at the artwork. Still got to do her little badge there. Can't forget that. Just trying to get some little details going here. Oh, hey, thank you for the host artwork by Dutch. Good to see you. It's been a while. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. I hope your channel's doing well. If you guys don't know, Dutch is a great artist himself, so please feel free to share a link or just give him a follow, and then you'll see his streams when they pop up. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Trailer Bob says, I'm sure they will love it. We specifically asked them for favorite characters and which Star Wars movie was their favorite, so this will make them happy, I'm sure. And artwork by Dutch says, hi, Booster. That's so funny. Just trying to work on some of the little finishing details here. But we're getting close. This one's about ready to wrap up. I can feel it. I can feel it. Where are we on? 30, 20? Let's go down one. Yeah, Dutch, feel free to share a link to like your channel or your Instagram. Yeah, Quinch Press and I will have to work out something on the mod side so that he can just do like an announcement when people host us to be like, hey, be sure to follow. Christy's like, I laughed when Christy called you that during the Comic-Con session. Oh, well, thanks for watching that. I appreciate it. Yeah, we recorded that, gosh, a couple months ahead of time. It was really, really fun to do. I've just been blown away by how many people watched it. I haven't checked in a couple days, but I think it was up over 3,500 views, which, you know, is about 10 times as many people as could watch it live in the room. So that's been kind of blowing my mind, you know. And I think it turned out pretty well for being pre-recorded. You know, we recorded it at 1080p, so sometimes with Photoshop stuff it's hard to see, but it looked like all the lasso selections and brush strokes and everything were pretty well visible, so that's always a relief. We were doing the Kubert School classes and they were using the Google software and you just couldn't see the details on that. It was rezzing it down too much or something, so it was nice that the Comic-Con stuff on YouTube worked out so well. Alright guys, I think we're getting real close here. Quinch Press says 3,685 views. Wow, isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? Who would have thunk it? I guess that's the power of Comic-Con, to be able to reach that many people. It's definitely more people than would normally watch any of my videos, that's for sure. Oh, thanks for sharing, Quinch Press. I appreciate that. Yeah, so Quinch Press just shared a link to the panel that Christy and I did for San Diego Comic-Con, and that one's on how to color comics with Photoshop. So, yeah, if you're interested, you know, check it out. It's definitely fun for us to do. And the feedback's been really good so far, so we appreciate that. You know, we've been given that panel, or versions of that panel, live at Comic-Con for what seems like forever. But, you know, we forget that in the grand scheme of things, very few people attend Comic-Con, so most people had never seen it before. So it's been really great. All the positive feedback and questions, and it's kind of nice to feel appreciated, you know? All right. Guys, I think we did it. I think we got this. I think this is it. Got our Luke and Leia here. I mean, Han and Leia. Luke and Leia. That's when you know I've been drawing too long. Start saying the character names wrong. Han and Leia. Twinkles in their eyes. There we go. I think all we're missing is a signature. Let me see if I can get that actually on cam. Oh, good. I'm glad you love it, Traveler Bob. And I really hope that Phil and Jen love it too.